So this first story I've told before, but I didn't tell it that well, and it's a good story, so I'm going to retell it. I was in middle school and we were playing kickball in PE. At our middle school, for some reason, the only game we ever played was kickball, and I was the shortest kid. Now, I tell you this bit of information because it's pertinent to many aspects of this story, but primarily because I never was able to kick the ball that hard. See, we use those industrial grade rubber balls in PE, and not only were they a heavy ball to kick, but they had grooves and such in them so they were easy to catch. And since we were inside, the ball would bounce off the ceiling or off the walls, and it'd just be an easy thing to catch, so I always tried to bunt it. That way, at least I had the chance to make it to first, but we had been playing kickball all week, and I'd only been bunting. I decided it was time to show the class what I could do. I get up to the plate, and everyone on the field drew a little bit closer, thinking that I was going to bunt. I kick the ball as hard as I can, and it flies all the way to the back wall, hits it, and then flies up into the ceiling. I had enough time to run all the way home, and I stood there at home cheering myself on. The whole class was as well. Everyone was screaming and cheering, or at least that's what I thought they were doing, so I took a bow and held it. It was only after I lifted my head back up, I felt something skim past my nose very fast, hit the gym floor, and make an echoing thud. The whole room became very quiet as I looked up and noticed it was a ceiling panel that had fallen. Now I don't know if I'd hit it with the ball when it hit the ceiling or if it was a bad panel it just gave way. But guys, this was about an inch thick and it could have easily knocked me dead if it hit me right. It was only a few seconds after it hit the ground and we were all silent when someone screamed out, "We were all trying to warn you, you idiot!" So this next story happened the other day. A friend of mine called me up telling me that his landlord only allowed 2 animals per house and my friend Alec had 3, 2 dogs and a new kitten. The landlord had apparently found the kitten and told him that he needed to get rid of it by that night and asked if I could pick it up and hold on to it for a few days. Now, I love dogs and cats equally, and when I say this, I mean that cute little fluffy animals will never be a no. I love animals, especially when they're little, so I bolted over there, spent a bit of time with them, and then headed back with the kitten. He was all black and he was super adorable. So I get him home and I introduce him to my cat and dog. My cat Sheridan had no issues with him, which actually surprised me. I figured that he would have gotten aggressive or territorial, but he actually didn't care at all, and I was super impressed. But then I showed him to my dog. I have a yellow lab and she has always been really calm and loving, so I don't know what got into her, but as soon as she saw the kitten, she wanted it dead. And I'm not joking for dramatic effect, her full intent was to kill this kitten. I literally had to pull her off the poor thing and throw her outside. The kitten was fine, but obviously I couldn't hold on to him, and I ended up having to take him back to my buddy. My dog ended up with a scratched up face, but she got exactly what she deserved. However, the funny part of this story happened this morning. I woke up at 4 a.m. to find my dog, the very same dog who tried ending the life of this kitten, was whining and crying in front of her bed, not sleeping, because my cat was in her bed. Sheridan is tiny in comparison, and I know for a fact that Fawn was in her bed and Sheridan kicked her out. I've seen him do it. It just cracked me up that this dog that had showed such ferociousness before was made into a little priss by a cat. Well, your cat seems kind of cool, Barry. Well, I mean, come on. Animals take on the personality of their owners. No, but I do have a couple of stories to tell about Sheridan. Though he is a cat, he's really surprised me. So one day we had to take him to the vet, and he hates that because he has to get into a cat carrier. The whole ride there, he will be screaming. So we get to the vet, we let him out, give him his shots, and try to get him back into the carrier, but he's being stubborn. My brother tries forcing him in, and he just won't go. My brother stops, and annoyed says this, "Sheridan, I just need you to get back in here so we can go home." I swear to God, the cat walked back into the carrier. Now look, it's a cat. There's no way, right? There's no way an animal is that smart. But then, last summer we went to the river all day and accidentally left Sheridan in the bathroom. Somehow he walked in there and we closed the door on him and didn't notice. And we left him there for 8 hours. We come home to hear him crying, and we go to open the door and notice that it's locked. Now that's odd, but we grab a screwdriver and open the door. He bolts out, and I instantly know what I'm gonna see. Pee, poop, all over the place, the door's gonna be scratched up, the toilet paper's gonna be everywhere, and I'm prepared for the worst. I open up the door, and the bathroom is in pristine condition. No marks on the walls or door, no cat pee and poop, nothing. I actually laughed a bit because I was honestly a bit shocked. That is, until I grabbed the door handle and noticed something didn't feel right. I looked closer and noticed the handle was all scratched up. So get this, we shut the door on him and locked him in the bathroom for 8 hours, and he spent his time trying to open the door. Not only did he know that the only way through a door was the door handle, but that's why the door was locked. He had accidentally locked himself in. Now again, this is just an animal, a cat, but I was impressed how smart animals can become. I mean, I've taught him to sit and come and stand up, but I never thought he would naturally learn how to open a door. That's impressive.